Hello, this is Ollie1 Roddy with Arsenal Talk here on the Halftime Chat. And today I really want to talk about the midfield situation. Not defensive midfield, because I think that's been covered and a little bit overdone, but instead our attacking midfield. Now, obviously at the moment, Wilshere is recovering from injury. Arteta picked up an injury at the end of the season. And Rosicky, as well as he did have a resurgence at the end of this season, I wouldn't say he is a particularly reliable character. Obviously Aaron Ramsey is another topic up for debate, and I think that requires another video, and that will be talked about later. But really I just want to have a look at a few of our targets in the creative area of midfield. The first one really is Marvin Martin. Now I'm going to do a few quick stats on him. 23-year-old Frenchman, attacking midfielder, currently plays for Soho in France. 4 seasons, got down 127 appearances and 21 substitute appearances, 12 goals and 36 assists. I think that's very good. That's pretty much leading to a goal in 1 in 3 matches through a assist or a goal. That's a very good statistic. And I think personally he's a very impressive player. But unfortunately it's been reported that he is going to Lille. And this seems to be a recurring theme. We were looking at Shinji Kagawa about 2 weeks ago, and he seems to be going to Man United. And this upsets me, this worries me, because both of these players were available for fairly low sums. To be fair, Shinji Kagawa has been really on form this season and got, I think it's 20 goals and 12 assists in 38 matches, which is fantastic. But what concerns me is that Shinji Kagawa I think was available for about 12 million and Marvin Martin for about 8 million. Now both of these are young, decent attacking midfielders in an area that we could probably use with reinforcement, and it doesn't look to any appearance like there's been any genuine attempt to reinforce in this area. I mean, take for example Younes Belhanda, another player who we were looking at one point, or rumoured to be so. Nothing ever happened of that, nothing's been seen about that. What worries me is that Ramsey hasn't performed very well this season. Rosicky, not very consistent. Arteta, I think he plays better in defensive, but maybe we'll see him in attack. And obviously Wilshere's still got this injury. Will he be the same when he comes back is one of the big things. Now, what I think is concerning, really, is that last season we didn't look to have an amazing amount of creativity from the midfield. I mean, Alex Song seemed to be doing most of the work. It didn't seem to be a case of Ramsey, Rosicky and Arteta getting lots of assists. It was mostly Song and the 2 wingers. And yeah, this is a big concern for me. Obviously, if we're going to have an attacking midfielder, he needs to be a player who's going to throw in some assists or score a lot of goals, and I don't think any of our 3 midfielders have really done that with any consistency this year. So, I mean, it's my opinion that we really need to get some better attacking midfielders, or not even better, but maybe just more options. I mean, obviously £8 million is a lot of money if you're buying chocolate bars or ice finger buns, but if you're looking at Premier League players, Marvin Martin, for example, he's a full French international at 23. No matter how poor the French team is doing, you don't go and get full international at the age of 23 unless you're a good player. Shinji Kagawa's got very, very high appearances for Japan. He's also played a lot at Borussia Dortmund, particularly this season, and he's been fantastic. And they're both players that were available that if we'd pursued we could have got for not a very high price. I mean, you look at a few years ago, we were signing players like Francis Jeffers for 8 million. I mean, whatever happened to Francis Jeffers? He was an awful player. So, I mean, it's my opinion that we really need to get more enforcement for that attacking midfield, especially if Yossi Benayoun goes, because I mean, he has performed well for us this season. I think he's getting older. I don't think also he's a particularly good playmaker. I think he's a very good dribbler and a very good in the box midfielder, but I don't think he's going to provide those assists. And to be honest, apart from Wilshere, I don't see who is going to provide those midfield assists. You know, I mean, Ramsey, I personally, I don't favour Ramsey. I think he gives the ball away way too much and undoes a lot of the good work that Arteta and Song does. I think also his shooting is generally optimistic at best. And I mean, he's missed some real sitters this season that could have put us in trouble. So I would really like to see a more playmaking midfielder. I mean, you know, there are so many available, and I know that everyone's going to laugh when I say this. Obviously, I don't see this as a plausible option because I'm an Arsenal fan and I'm used to years of disappointment. But Ronaldinho has just been made available on a free transfer. Arsenal, if you don't want to spend any money on a transfer, then pick up your phone, you speak about 20 languages, I'm sure you speak Portuguese, and get Ronaldinho here. It's stupidly optimistic. It's never going to happen. This is a dream. This is something you do on FIFA because you know it's never going to happen in real life. But if he's not going to spend any money, why not? Why not throw that option in there? You know? I'd rather him buy an experienced player than an 18-year-old, but to be honest, I'd rather him buy a 23-year-old than an experienced player because I think we need that level of excitement. An 18-year-old, too inconsistent. We've got a lot of 18-year-olds. Players like Coquelin, fantastic, but we've got too many of. We want sort of a, you know, in their prime type player just to come in and make an impact. And as I've been talking about in previous videos, you know, players like Olivier Giroud, not young, not old, just in their prime. That's what we need. We need players to come in. And of course, Ronaldinho is not in his prime. But he's obviously a fantastic player. He'd obviously be a huge lift. He'd be that big signing that we keep talking about Arsenal needing to make. And you know, I personally feel that it would be absolutely fantastic for us to sign an attacking midfielder. I think it would just add to our squad. So that's all I really wanted to talk about today. I've gone on a bit of a rant, but I'm just being so annoyed by all these chances that we're not only getting to buying these good midfielders and we keep missing out to other clubs. So, got that out of my system. Just like to say, by the way, I have been looking at my transfer rumours from a lot of sources, but to be fair, one of the big ones I use is actually a Facebook group that you can find if you go onto your Facebook, the Arsenal Transfer Speculations and News. They've been really, really helpful. I recommend anyone using Facebook to add them, and you'll probably get even more information than I can give you here. Right, well, thanks a lot for listening. If you'd like to like, subscribe and comment below, and I'll be releasing a video within the next few days. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.